In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as El Salvador's pro-Bitcoin president, Nayib Bukele, sworn in for the second term. We'll also be discussing the US SEC bent on choking the crypto industry, according to Coinbase, as well as the US banking lobby last-minute bid to stop the Biden vetoing, the SAB 121 overturn. We'll also be discussing Trump's crypto portfolio, topping 14 million post-conviction. He's also now received a total of contributions or donations equivalent to over $200 million since the conviction. We'll also be discussing the latest with Bitcoin flashing signal that preceded a 9-month parabolic rally. According to this crypto strategist, he says Bitcoin is in play to $420,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life. But Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Let's go. Welcome to the entire crypto fam. If you're new to the stream, very important to smash the likes, reposts, and if you're on the tube, be sure to subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. It's greatly appreciated. Today, a special day. It's June 2nd, 2024. This is pod episode number 1658, and I'm your host, JV. Another Sunday fun day for you. Church is in session. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. You can see Bitcoin in the green. I love it. Above 67,800. We have Ether in the red, 0.5%, just under 3,800. Ton is the top gainer, up 5%, while the majority of the alt market is correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a 2.53 trillion market cap with 54 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 52.9%, with the Ether dominance at 17.9%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got Notcoin up 43%, now at a 2.3 billion market cap. I think this is on the Solana blockchain, related somehow to Toncoin or Telegram. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we also have Avo up 16% and Wormhole up 6%. Below that, Jasmy, Starknet, Toncoin, and Kaspa. Now, which particular alts, fam, are you guys most bullish on for this bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the daily. Insane, not up 41%. Brett, never even heard of it. Must be another meme coin, up 18%. And Evo up 16%. Zooming out on the monthly. Good to see the majority of the alts back in the green and pumping with some respectable gainers, especially with the memes. Bonk up 20, Floki 43%, Jasmy 124%, Pepe 84%, and Brett 236%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated 73 greed, yesterday 72, last week 75, and last month a 48, which is neutral. So there you have it. Crypto fam, let me know, again, where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us this week of June? Holla at your boy. But anyways, fam, let's dive into a little astrology for the broskies, aka Bitcoin TA. Bitcoin could be preparing to repeat its ascent to new all-time highs from March, according to on-chain analysis. That's right. Alan Terragrade drew a key comparison to the Bitcoin price action now and in mid-February. Let's break this down. Bitcoin needed less than a month to hit the new all-time highs earlier this year when a classic on-chain indicator flashed green. Now the same setup is in the process of executing with clear implications of the Bitcoin price strength. Is it a coincidence or is this a legit price action? According to the analysts, bull flag and the MACD bullish cross at the same time. After a breakout to the bull flag, Bitcoin will surge higher. Let me know if you agree with the sentiment. The metric in question is the moving average convergence divergence, known as the MACD, on the 3-day time frame. The MACD measures the trend strength, which is busy building positive bars after a red period, which began early April. At the same time, Bitcoin's consolidating within a bull flag, and the last time it exited to the upside along with the green MACD, new all-time highs required. Only a matter of weeks. 3-day MACD has long been on the radar for market observers tracking the current Bitcoin bull. That's right. In late December, we shared TradingView confirmed a trip back into the red territory, preceded the turbulence around the debut of the US spot ETFs. That's right, as you can see here in the 3-day chart. Now, the analyst also adds to the varied opinions over the current sideways Bitcoin price landscape, now consolidating below the March highs for nearly 3 months. Bitcoin, some warn, will continue to stay range-bound for a few more weeks. That has not stopped sky-high Bitcoin price predictions from making a return, amongst them 150,000 target this year. For 2024, according to Fundstrat's Tom Lee. June, meanwhile, his traders are eyeing 85,000 or more. As Mikey Bull Crypto shares here, the Bitcoin megaphone pattern has a price target of 85 G's, baby. Breakout soon. Let's freaking go. So let me know if you agree. Do you think we're about to enter another parabolic stage for the King Crypto? Holla at your boy. And let's freaking go. I'm going to give away some memberships to the channel because I appreciate you guys. Here we go. So congratulations to the following members. You've just been hooked up with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel. Expos John, Bitcoin Trini, JBZ, Rika, NKA, Orthodox Boomer Grandma. You've all been hooked up, and I'm going to gift you guys another 5. Why not? Here we go. Another 5 memberships, family. Every month I give away 10. Another 5 memberships gifted. Matthew Rodriguez, Built for Battle, Andy, Markowitz, and Misha Wright, and Mohammed. You've all been hooked up on behalf of Crypto News Alerts. So I appreciate you guys. You're all now members of the channel. You'll notice your name is now green and you'll have a star and a badge next to your name. We appreciate your support, family. Respect. Anyways, let's continue with the news, eh? Our next story of the day, we had big news, the inauguration of President Bukele in El Salvador yesterday. I watched part of the stream. It had like over 200,000 people there. Attending the live stream, and now there's probably millions of people who have seen it. Had a lot of people there. Trump Jr. was there. Javier Milei met Bukele for the first time there. Of course, Max and all the Bitcoiners were there celebrating. So I actually want to break this one down. Here you go. And shout out to the people of El Salvador. El Salvador's pro-Bitcoin President Bukele sworn in for another 5 years, so until 2029. And some say he's going to continue to win because he can continue to be voted in term after term after term. Just FYI. Bukele is proof of work. Cheers to 5 more years, said Corey Bates. Exactly 5 years ago, Bukele took oath of office, becoming president of El Salvador. Ever since, the country has been a world leader, a beacon of freedom, safety, and innovation to the first Bitcoin president, according to Pete Rizzo. And you can see a picture here of Bukele with his beautiful wife at the inauguration. And on June 1st, the inauguration ceremony took place at the National Palace in San Salvador. Bukele reiterated how, under his leadership, the nation saw a significant decline in crime after a major crackdown on gangs, quoting Bukele. In 2 years, we turned around a situation that had been unresolved for more than a half a century, with more than 70,000 terrorists controlling the country, referring to the gang members, who then left more dead than the arms conflicted. Now, while he garnered support from citizens for his efforts to combat crime, he also earned backing from the global crypto industry for his decision to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender, which officially occurred in September of 2021. El Salvador became the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender following the announcement of the Bitcoin law. And there was initial skepticism in the beginning from more than 3/4 of Salvadorans, according to a Reuters poll. But in my opinion, Reuters is compromised just like the rest of the mainstream media. I believe absolutely nothing they publish. I don't know if that's just me. What do you guys think? Anyways, Bukele secured a landslide victory in the recent election. That's right. The party secured 54 out of the 60 seats in legislature, providing Bukele with the political means to continue leading the country. The results were from the country's elections on February 4th and the 5th. Bukele claimed victory before the official results were even announced, suggesting the New Ideas Party had won 58 seats instead of 54. And more recently, reports indicated that Argentina might be emulating El Salvador's approach to adopting Bitcoin and other crypto plans. I'm a little skeptical with Javier Milei, but you never know. I mean, he was just there at the inauguration, and he did just meet Bukele for the first time, but we shall see. I want to know your thoughts on that. And also, Cointelegraph reported Argentina's securities regulator, the National Security Commission, held a meeting with El Salvador's National Commission of Digital Assets to address crypto adoption and regulation in the two countries. So there you have it, my crypto fam. In fact, I have a question for y'all. Which country do you think is most likely to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender next, following in the footsteps of Nayib Bukele? Do you think it could be Argentina? Do you think it'll be a different country? I want to know your thoughts. Holla. Let's continue. We discussed the latest with Bukele and his inauguration, another 5-year term till 2029. Now let's discuss the SEC won't let me be or let CZ free. Come on, JV. U.S. SEC bent on choking the crypto industry. According to Coinbase, the U.S. SEC will continue its regulation by enforcement approach to the crypto industry for as long as it can to satisfy its goal of choking the industry, hence Choke Point 2.0. The SEC is serious about the destruction of digital assets, Coinbase declared in a May 31st filing with the U.S. Court of Appeals, and its ongoing efforts to push the court to force the SEC to begin making fair rules for the crypto industry. And although the exchange argues that the agency doesn't seem willing to come to the table to establish clear and fair guidelines, quoting them here, giving the agency further opportunity to explain itself is both pointless and exquisitely undeserved. Kudos to Coinbase for calling them out. They claim the SEC has no duty to make compliance with its rules possible, and that the agency believes its rules are workable enough because it has taken legal action against several firms in the industry already for violating them. The exchange further told the court to not just take its word for it before reiterating the stance of other SEC commissioners who also believe the SEC is hindering the digital asset industry and welcoming the extinction of new technology. One of the most pro-vocal crypto SEC commissioners, Crypto Mom Hester Pierce, recently published a letter pitching a cross-border sandbox program between the US and the UK blockchain firms experimenting with tokenized securities. Quoting her here, "One of the problems that we have had is that people have tried to come into the SEC to get relief. But, you sort of come in and nothing happens. This would force the SEC's hand a little bit," according to Pierce. Now, the SEC believes its heavy-handed approach only poses difficulties for some. We all know we don't trust three-letter organizations, eh? Anyways, I digress. Coinbase noted the SEC attempted to mitigate its heavy-handed approach to the crypto industry by claiming its rules may only pose challenges for the small segment of the industry. BS. The SEC tries to minimize its oppressive stance by asserting that only a small set of market participants may experience compliance difficulties under the discrete provisions of existing rules. Again, more BS. The SEC initiated the lawsuit against Coinbase back in June of last year, alleging Coinbase never registered as a broker, National Securities Exchange, or a clearing agency, evading the disclosure scheme for security markets. Coinbase sought to have the case dismissed, yet the SEC has consistently opposed their attempts, despite optimism from the crypto industry and legal experts alike. Coinbase would have the case dismissed if it wasn't successful. Meanwhile, Cointelegraph reported Bloomberg senior litigation analyst Elliot Stein forecasted a 70% chance of the exchange securing a full dismissal in the lawsuit after attending the hearing. So there you go. Personally, I greatly hope and pray that the SEC faces another big fat L because, in my opinion, the chairman of the SEC is a big fat L for all of humanity. Let me know if you agree with that. Next story of the day. Let's discuss it. Remember that crypto bill which just got vetoed by Crooked Joe? Well, guess what? U.S. banking lobby last-minute bid to stop Biden from vetoing the SAB 121 overturn. That's right. Hours prior to the U.S. president, Crooked Joe, vetoing the staff accounting bulletin AB 121 repeal on May 31st. Largest lobbying organization for the U.S. banking industry, the American Bankers Association, penned a letter in an attempt to sway his decision. Quoting them here, precluding regulated banking organizations from effectively providing digital asset safeguarding services at scale harms investors, customers, and ultimately the financial system, the ABA wrote in a May 31st letter, which you can see here, to Crooked Joe, just before he announced his decision to veto the congressional resolution aimed at repealing the U.S. SEC SAB 121 guidelines. So even though both chambers of Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate voted in favor of repealing the SAB 121 guidance, Crooked Joe opted to use his presidential veto authority, preventing the guidance from being overturned. I'm not surprised. The lobbying group explained that the SAB 121 is a big change from how custodial assets are usually treated, and it could make it harder for the industry to keep digital assets safe for customers. The SAB 121 represents a significant departure from long-standing accounting treatment for custodial assets and threatens the industry's ability to provide its customers with safe and sound custody of digital assets. Ultimately, these banks want to be able to self-custody the biddies so we can borrow against them and do a lot of cool things. I think we need this as well. So quoting them again, limiting banks' abilities to offer these services leaves customers with few well-regulated, trusted options for safeguarding their digital asset portfolios and ultimately exposes them to increased risks. Amen to that. And for some in the crypto industry, the ABA's pro-crypto statement may be surprising, especially considering that just last year, reports surfaced of a group helping Senator Elizabeth Warren, known for her skepticism towards crypto, and drafting the anti-crypto legislation. And you already know Pocahontas is Team Crooked Joe. Just want to throw that out there. In December of 2023, Cointelegraph reported on a video that surfaced on X. Roger Marshall admitted that he and Elizabeth Warren approached the ABA for assistance in crafting the Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act. Quoting Marshall here, the first thing that we did is that we went to the American Bankers Association and said, help us craft this. So there you have it, family. How do you think this will all play out with the bill? Next story of the day, we're going to be discussing Trump. He was actually at the UFC fights last night. How many of you saw that? They were chanting during the fights, pro-Trump chants, FJB chants. It was pretty lit. If you guys got to experience it, let me know. But I wanted to point out something interesting. This just happened yesterday. Donald Trump becomes the first American president to accept Bitcoin Lightning payments for campaign donations. I also heard as of today, he has now received over 200 million worth of donations. That's not just in Bitcoin, but just in general, all money, if you added up the crypto and dollars, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to break down this story. Former U.S. President Trump, his crypto portfolio just surpassed $14 million. That's right. This was according to Arkham Intelligence. This has risen after he was found guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records to influence the 2016 election. And at this current time, his crypto holdings total nearly 14.2 million, an increase from 10 million reported earlier in the week. So his crypto continues to grow, yo. Trump's crypto portfolio also holds a number of meme coins, which were airdropped to him. Arkham detailed on X. Donald Trump now holds 8 figures in meme coins. These holdings have been airdropped to him by developers of various meme coin projects. He did not buy them himself. The bulk of his portfolio is on the meme coin MAGA Trump. As you can see here, this is his actual portfolio broken down for you again on behalf of Arkham. Now, the historic verdict against Trump marks the first instance of a former U.S. president being declared a felon, deeply dividing the nation. And following his felony conviction, Trump's campaign announced on Friday evening, nearly $53 million was raised within the first 24 hours. And as I updated you, it's now over $200 million. So initially a critic, Trump acknowledged Bitcoin's growing popularity and pledged to oppose Crooked Joe's anti-crypto agenda. And just to be clear, we're not talking about Joe Dirt, advocating for favorable regulations for digital assets. He also promised to free Ross Ulbricht. Former Commodity Futures Trading Commission Chairman Christopher Giancarlo considers Trump America's first crypto president, highlighting the Bitcoin futures were approved during his administration. And since leaving office, Trump has launched 3 NFT collections, including the infamous mugshot collection. So there you have it, family. Now for our feature story of the day. Bitcoin flashing a signal that preceded 9-month parabolic rally. According to crypto strategist Tech Dev, he's actually predicting we could hit 420,000, 420 being a very special number. So let's discuss this 420,000 Bitcoin price prediction, shall we? Closely followed crypto strategist as Bitcoin just flashed the signal last seen before the dramatic rallies of the 2017 bull market cycle. How many of you crypto bros were actually here in 2017 during this bull? Let me know. Tech Dev shares on X that Bitcoin versus the M1 money supply chart just breached the resistance of the exponential moving average Bollinger Bands on the monthly chart. And according to the analysts, the same thing happened in the first month of 2017 before Bitcoin printed gains of more than 2,600% in less than a year. Let's go. Quoting him here. You're looking at the first breakout of Bitcoin against the M1 money supply since March 2017, when it went historically parabolic for 9 months. 2017 was such an epic inauguration into crypto for me. That's why I asked you guys out there in the chat, how many of you were around back in 2017 to witness that? Let me know. That's when Bitcoin went from early 2017 to like from 700 or 900, wherever we were at, all the way to almost $20,000. It feel like yesterday, man. M1 money supply tracks the amount of liquidity sloshing in the U.S. financial system by summing up all the physical money, including coins and currency, demand deposits, traveler checks, and other checkable deposits. And according to Tech Dev, the signal suggests that traders and investors are underestimating the upside potential of Bitcoin in this market cycle. Quoting them here, comparisons and trend projections involving 2021 may end up dramatically underestimating things. One interpretation: in 2021, Bitcoin was carried to new USD highs by increased money supply. And in 2024, it's gotten there on its own demand and thus broke out against the M1 and the anticipated M1 growth this time. And we likely see Bitcoin outpace expectations based in part on 2021. Tech Dev says that Bitcoin may soar to over 400,000 per coin in less than 1 year if it follows in the footsteps of the 2017 bull market. As he shares here, I know it's ridiculous, not my call. 70,000 to 420,000 in a year sounds crazy, as 1,000 to 20,000 did. I wouldn't have called that either. So he's ultimately saying no one anticipated Bitcoin soaring from 1,000 to 20,000 back in 2017. And if we get a similar price action deja vu reality, then we can go from 70,000 to 420,000 per coin as outlined here in the chart. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analysts. Personally, I think 420 is a fantastic target for this cycle peak. In my humble opinion, I think we hit the cycle peak next year in 2025, and my estimate is anywhere from 222,000 as the bear scenario to 750,000 as my bull scenario. So 420 is kind of like in the middle somewhere. So I think very doable. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think we can realistically hit 420,000 for this cycle? Now, hypothetically, what if it's more like the 2012, 2013 cycle when Bitcoin ripped 8,000%? What if? Then Bitcoin would probably be above $1 million this particular cycle. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. I have my mind open. I think as a Bitcoiner in general, we have to keep an open mind and realize anything is possible, right? We're living in unprecedented times in the cycle, on the macro scale, in the world, in politics, and all that stuff. And then you have to consider all the bullish sentiment in the market. And this particular cycle, it's been driven thus far from the institutional FOMO with the backing of the Bitcoin ETFs, which officially went live on January 11th. BlackRock, now the largest asset manager with Bitcoin in their possession through their custodian Coinbase. Coinbase now collectively has over 1 million Bitcoin as a result of the Bitcoin ETFs. That's a large portion of the Bitcoin supply. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like 5%. We're in that ballpark. You also have Mikey Saylor and MicroStrategy stacking sats like there is no tomorrow. They now control over 1% of the Bitcoin supply. And then you have nation state adoption. We haven't even discussed yet. Other nations likely adopting Bitcoin this year as the game theory continues in full effect. Then we have the retail. Once that comes into play, typically when we're in price discovery mode, people love to purchase at the top. It's just the nature of the beast. You can't make the ish up. But when Bitcoin was only $3,000 back in the no-vid era of 2020 and you guys had the ability to stack sats between 3,000 to 4,000, nobody cared. But when Bitcoin rips to 100,000, retail will be FOMOing like a mofo. It's just the nature of humans, you know what I mean? So when you have retail, when you have the institutional FOMO, when you have the ETFs, and now we're likely to get the Ethereum ETF approval sometime here in June, according to the top ETF analysts, a lot of bullishness, show. And that's not even factoring in the Middle East, more nation state adoption, sovereign wealth fund adoption, and so many things that are bullish in the markets right now. You feel me? JC Ice, and welcome to the Q&A segment of the show. She says, I think it'll be like the 2013 cycle. We have more catalysts now, and instead of doing the descending percentage that we have seen in the cycles, we will break out. Amen, JC. It's very doable. Very doable. Retail is asleep, says McLovin. Kylo, I think we're dealing with higher resistance and we go higher. More realistically, I think it'll be 125,000 as bearish to 250 as the bull. Word up. I appreciate your insights. Thank you for sharing, family. 50K once seemed like crazy pie in the sky. Amen. The fact is, back in 2009, $50 seemed like a crazy pie in the sky. Real talk. Remember when Bitcoin was virtually worth nothing and you couldn't give it away? And remember when the first pizza purchase or transaction of Bitcoin was for 10,000 biddies for 2 Papa John's pizzas, now valued at $670 million, the most expensive pizza to ever exist. I'm just saying, you already know. One thing is for certain, family. I may not be able to guarantee you where the price will be with 100% certainty, but something I feel I can guarantee you with 100% certainty is the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase, whereas the US dollar purchasing power is mathematically guaranteed to continue to decrease because money printer will continue to go. And you already know, family. The rest is history. All-time high, 480,000 would be 100% hodl trough cycle. We'll send it already. Time to ask JV your questions. Thanks for the reminder. That's sick. Welcome to the Q&A segment. If you're streaming on X, please hit the repost and head on over to YouTube so you can interact in the chat, as the chat stream is exclusive right now on the tube. cryptonewsalerts.net. Let's go. JV, how much longer do you think we're going to stay in this consolidation phase? Who knows? It may just be another week. It may be a few weeks. I don't know, but I know it's very short term. It's only a matter of time before we start going parabolic. We break above the current all-time high, which we hit back mid-March of 73,800, which is the current local top. It's inevitable. When exactly? I wish I could tell you. I don't have a magic 8-ball, but it is what it is. I agree. Higher resistance as we get higher, harder. 2x, 70,000, 20,000, still a breakout coming. I think Bitcoin is going to shock us all forever. How high it goes, amen. It's going up forever. It's not just going to stop somewhere. Some people are like, it could never go XYZ. You don't know Bitcoin, because everyone said back in the beginning that Bitcoin would never go to $1. Hit $1. I guarantee you there were plenty of people that said it will never go to $10. And then we hit $10 and the same people will never go to $100. Might as well sell now. Then it hit 100 and people say, well, it could never go to 1,000. Hit 1,000. The same people say it can never hit 10,000. Hit 10,000. The same people will say it'll never hit 50,000. You hit 50,000. The same people will say it'll never hit 100,000. Once we hit 100,000, the same idiots will say it could never hit 1 million. Sell now while you still can. No, it's going up forever. If you don't understand that, you don't understand Bitcoin. So when Mikey Saylor says it's going up forever, Laura, it's funny. We laugh, but he's being dead serious. He's not making that up to try to convince you to buy Bitcoins, because he genuinely believes Bitcoin is going to go up forever. Why wouldn't it? Look, since the inception of Bitcoin 15 years ago, look at the trajectory. It's going to continue to increase purchasing power. Why would it stop now? It can't stop. It does the opposite of what the fiat monopoly money does. The fiat monopoly money is doomed. The fiat monopoly money will continue to be doomed. Look at the trajectory. Look at Bitcoin versus US dollar. You know what I mean? Look at that chart and tell me which way Bitcoin will continue to go for the rest of our lives and generations to come. And what way will the dollar continue to go for the rest of our lives until its demise? Let me know, family. We're almost out of the consolidation phase of the cycle. It's usually 6 to 9 weeks post-halving. Then we go parabolic after we reach the previous all-time high. Amen, Jennifer. JB, talking about the Peter Sniff? No, we're not talking about the Peter Sniff. Let him stick with his gold. More biddies for us. Another Bitcoin guy said, the people that need Bitcoin the most are the most unaware of what it is. So true. So true. And you want to know why that is? Because most poor people are so focused on just making a paycheck, they can't even fathom investing into an asset. Because they're just so stuck on trying to survive, survival mode. And the Matrix wants us stuck on survival mode so that we're working 5 jobs and we have no time to tune into Crypto News Alerts. We have no time to tune into AJ. We have no time to support the freedom fighters who are fighting for our liberties. You know what I mean? And they want you to be poor. They want you to eat the bugs and be happy and content. But my saying is, stack the biddies regardless of where you're at in life. Treat Bitcoin as your savings. Even poor people need a savings more desperately than anybody else. So everyone should be saving in Bitcoin. Don't look at it as an investment. It'll turn into an investment, but just look at it as a savings. It's the greatest savings that we have ever had in human history. And if you delete your savings account at the bank, remove all your money from JP Morgan Chase immediately, I would recommend it, and put that into Bitcoin. Self-custody, and treat that as your savings and recognize you don't need the banks. Banks need us. They're nothing without us. You know what I mean? It's like falling dominoes. The banks are doomed, yo. And speaking of the doomed banks, look at the Nipponators just awakened.